The Geoff Lenox Feel Good Happy Time Podcast.
What's up, everybody? My name is Geoff Lenox, and I am your host here on the Geoff Lenox Feel Good Happy Time Podcast. This is episode number 1 for Wednesday, November 26th, 2014. That intro there, that's Motorhead. It's a song called Deaf Forever off their Orgasmatron album. And I always felt like if I was going to come out for an MMA fight and I needed like a walkout song, or if I was going to be like a closeout pitcher, and I got to pick what song they blasted as it came out of the bullpen, that's what I'd pick. Deaf Forever by Motorhead. You should check it out. Maybe sometime we'll play the whole thing, but it's going to be my intro, I think, every week here on the podcast. And, why not? I'm never going to be a closeout pitcher, and I'm probably never going to need a walkout song for a fight. So using it for an intro to my podcast just makes sense. And this is episode 1. Thank you for joining us. The idea of this is that it is my own radio show, and this is what I would do if I had my own radio show. But now, in this modern age that we live in, nobody has to give me one. I can just do it anyway. I'll be playing a lot of music, hopefully showing you some stuff that you don't know or at least don't hear all the time. And we're not going to really be stuck in any certain genre. It'll probably lean heavy towards the rock and roll side because that's mostly what I listen to. But there may also be some hip hop songs or, some metal or a range. I'm open to really anything so long as it doesn't suck. And we will play anything so long as it doesn't suck. We've got a few different ideas for segments, and I'm going to try maybe 1 or 2 here today, and we'll see how they go. But thanks for checking in, and I hope you enjoy it. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day, everybody. Do you know that the night before Thanksgiving is statistically supposedly like the best night for going out bar hopping? It's like the busiest night in America for bars, night before Thanksgiving. And, by the way, don't take anything that I spout off on here as like a fact, too seriously. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm telling you right up front that I have no idea what I'm talking about most of the time. So you don't need to run and check Google and come back to me with an email and say, the night before Thanksgiving is really not the most popular night. It's actually blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. As far as I know, that's what it is. And that's what we're rolling with on here. So, that being said, what are your plans? Are you heading back home to your little tiny hometown? Going to go to that one bar where all the old high school kids still gather and, relive the glory days? Maybe you drink too much and fuck around with somebody that you probably shouldn't because you don't really know them that well and you never talked to them in high school. But, some point after 25 drinks, you're admitting to each other that you used to have a crush on each other. Yeah, that's what it used to be for me. And then the next day you go home and you're sitting there at Thanksgiving dinner and your head's fucking pounding, while your grandma sits there gnawing away on her turkey at the same rhythm that your fucking head is pounding to from your headache. Then dad starts, bashing everything that everybody in the whole family's ever done with their lives. What a fucking awesome holiday, right? Happy Thanksgiving. Anyway, that's what this episode is about. It is Thanksgiving, and that's what we're going to talk about, and we're going to play some songs that remind me of Thanksgiving. And to me, honest to God, what I think about every year during Thanksgiving is I think about iced tea. Not iced tea like the little old lady drink, but iced tea like the used to be gangster rapper and now is mostly known for being an actor on Law and Order SVU. When I was a kid, all my friends and I were into Ice-T. We listened to his rap albums, and then we got into Body Count, and it was just like everything the guy put out. I mean, we were into gangster rap in general. We listened to like Cypress Hill and NWA and everything. And it's weird because we grew up in this like little town that was like 60% senior citizens and, about the safest place you could ever live. But we would walk around like we were hard. And there's certainly a certain part of the population there that thinks they're hard. But, yeah, that's what I was listening to when I was 12, was Body Count, the first album, and the OG Original Gangster album. And both of those have parts on them where Ice-T talks about how much he hates Thanksgiving. In the Body Count record, it is in the song Mama's Gotta Die Tonight. And in the OG Original Gangster album, it's in the song Straight Up Nigga. And can I say that word on here? I guess I can. I guess you can when it's in a song title. You know, you're supposed to like skip it otherwise or something. Or like if you're white, you got to drop that word out. Or say like straight up N-word. But I'm not going to. Straight up nigga. That's what this song is called. And anyway, I'm going to play both of those for you here in a minute. But I've listened to them earlier today, and I'm like looking back with the perspective of a 34-year-old and not a 12-year-old. And I gotta say, Ice, I don't understand what the fucking problem is. I'm not understanding your argument. I know he's a smart guy. I'm not trying to knock him. But I'd love to know if we could talk to him somehow. I mean, if I ever got to a radio show where I had some pull, this is where I would call Ice-T and have him explain to me what is wrong with Thanksgiving. Because I bet you he wouldn't be able to. I bet you his mouth is full of turkey and mashed potatoes right now, and he wouldn't be able to talk to me and tell me why he fucking hates Thanksgiving. But anyway, here are the songs. This is Mama's Gotta Die Tonight off of Body Count, their debut album in 1991. And it's followed by Straight Up Nigga from OG Original Gangster, also 1991, an Ice-T rap album. No. Mama!
All my life I loved this girl so much. All my life I loved her simple touch. She cared for me and put me on this earth. Oh, the pain of just a simple birth. But now I find that she had left me dumb and blind, poison twisted and destroyed my mind. She taught me things that simply were not true. She taught me hate for race, that's why I hate you. There's only one way I can make it right. Mama's gotta die tonight. There's only one way I can make it right. Mama's gotta die tonight. Mama, I always loved my mama. I always loved my mama. I love the way she hold me. I love the way she talked to me. She used to teach me a lot of things. She taught me good things. She taught me bad things. Don't trust white people. Don't trust white people. Don't trust white people. They're no good. They're no good. They're no good. They're no good. They're just gonna rip you off. They're just gonna rip you off. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. I said, why, mama? She said, I told you don't trust them. They're no good. I said, mama, I thought we were all the same, mama. Why, mama? She said, don't ask me any questions. Don't you challenge your mother, mama. So one day, I found I fell in love, and I brought my girlfriend home, and I introduced her to my mother, and she smacked me. It was a white girl, and I said, why, mama? Why, mama? What did I do wrong, you know? I found out my mother was an evil woman. She hated Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Jamaicans, Indians, Orientals. Mama was no good. I learned to hate my mother, So I got some lighter fluid from the corner store, and I put it around her bed, and I set her on fire. Burn, mama! Burn, mama! Burn, mama! Burn, bitch! Burn! 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 Burn, you racist bitch! But she wasn't quite dead. She jumped up from the bed, and I grabbed my Louisville Slugger that she had bought me for my 12th birthday, and I came up behind her and I hit her. I hit her twice. Now she was out. I went into the kitchen and I got the handy carving knife that we only use on special occasions, like bullshit Thanksgiving. And I took her and I laid her old fucked up corpse on the floor, and I cut her in little bitty pieces. Cut off her arms, her feet, her neck, and I put her into little green hefty bags. And I put it into my car, and I said, Mama, we're gonna go on a vacation, a permanent vacation, bitch. I took some of her around the world, to Arizona, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, Oakland. Yo, you wanna go to Connecticut, bitch? Ohio, Detroit, Texas, LA. Who's laughing now, mama? Who's laughing now, bitch? Who's laughing now? So if you got a mother, or a grandmother, or a father who wants to carry on the same racist bullshit that's fucked this world up from day one, you can either look him in the face and tell him to suck your dick, or do like Body Count does. All my life I loved this girl so much. All my life I loved her simple touch. She cared for me and put me on this earth. Oh, the pain of just a simple birth. But now I find that she has left me dumb and blind, poison twisted and destroyed my mind. She taught me things that simply were not true. She taught me hate for race, that's why I hate you. There's only one way I can make it right. Mama's gotta die tonight. There's only one way I can make it right. Mama's gotta die tonight. Yo, check this out. A lot of people be getting mad because I use the word nigga. You know what I'm saying? They don't like the fact that I use the word nigga. They say, you a black man. Yo, I tell them I'm a nigga. They don't understand that. So I'ma say what I wanna say. I call myself what I wanna call myself. You know what I'm saying? They need to stay off my dick, you know? Damn right I'm a nigga. And I don't care what you are, cause I'm a capital N-I-double-G-E-R. Black people might get mad cause they don't see that they're looked upon as a nigga just like me. I'm a nigga, not a colored man or a black or a Negro or Afro-American, I'm all that. Yes, I was born in America, true. The South Central look like America to you? I'm a nigga, a stand-up nigga from a hard school. Whatever you are, I don't care, that is you, fool. I'm loud and proud, well endowed with a big beat. Out on the corner, I hang out like a horse thief. So you can call me dumb or crazy, ignorant, stupid, inferior, or lazy, silly or foolish, but I'm badder and bigger. And most of all, I'm a straight up nigga. That's right, I'm a nigga, you know what I'm saying? My man Lord Finesse is my motherfucking nigga, you know? Evil E's my nigga, Islam's my nigga. That's right, they're my niggas. I'm a nigga in America, and that much I flaunt. Cause when I see what I like, yo, I take what I want. I'm not the only one, that's why I'm not bitter. Cause everybody is a nigga to a nigga. America was stole from the Indians, show and prove. What was that? A straight up nigga move. A low down shame, yo, it's straight insane. Yet they complain when a nigga snatch their gold chain. What is a nigga supposed to do? Wait around for a handout from a nigga like you? That's why a low down nigga gets hyped. But I'm not the nigga of that type. I'm a steak and lobster eating, billionaire meeting, cash money making, moving, shaking, corporate jet gliding, limousine riding, writing hits, filthy rich, straight up nigga. That's right, I'm a nigga. Now I'ma write this song though the radio won't play it. But I got freedom of speech, so I'ma say it. She wanna be les, he wanna be gay. Well, that's your business, I'm straight, so nigga, have it your way. Those who hate me, I got something for ya. I'm a nigga with cash, a nigga with a lawyer. Not a watermelon chitlin' eating nigga down south, but a nigga that'll smack the taste from your mouth. I'm contemplating, thinking, best champagne drinking, 10-inch giving, extra large living, Mercedes-Benz driving, surviving, all the way live and kicking, high-fiving, stroking, rapping, happening, deal doing. Fly in from Cali to chill with the crewin', grinding, grooving, fly girly grabbing, horny gun shooting, long-haired having nigga. Straight up nigga. Straight up nigga. That's right, fool, look at me. Just the kind of nigga you like to hang from a tree. But all you KKK type grave diggers, he's back, fool, cause I'm a trigger nigga. I work real hard for my living, but I don't celebrate bullshit Thanksgiving. Sit up like some fool and eat turkey. That's the day your forefathers jerked me. Shit goes all over here in locks and chains. Split us up, twisted up a nigga's brain. Now you keep me in constant sweat. But I'm a nigga that you'll never forget. A black, bad, ironclad, always mad. Fly nigga taking off from a helipad. Rolex styling, buck, wildin', cash piling. Sporting link chains and medallions. Intellectual, high tech. Cashing 7-digit checks and still breaking necks. The ultimate male supreme. White woman's dream. Big dick, straight up nigga.
Yo, Ice, my nigga.
What's up, Loke? Just had to tell niggas what time it was, Aladdin, man. You know.
I hear you, homie.
Look at those fucking niggers.
We don't play that shit.
I don't know. Was this a fucking good idea? I don't even know. Whatever. We're rolling with it. It's my fucking podcast. I'll say what I want. There's probably only like a couple people listening to this anyway. I'm sure half of them are like all the people that I don't want to listen to it. Just like aunts and uncles and cousins and shit that I'm going to have to go see at Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. And it's just going to be weird. Didn't make any new fans, no new friends from this. Just weirded out the family. And now it's awkward every time we sit down and eat together. That's what my podcast is all about. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. That's what I was listening to when I was 12. Maybe it's weird. Maybe you were listening to it when you were 12. Maybe my aunt knows these songs, but I doubt it. The other things that I think about when Thanksgiving rolls around, I mean, I'm just trying to come up with things to me that are relative to Thanksgiving. And one of the Thanksgivings that sticks out in my mind would be Thanksgiving 1995. I was 15 years old. And I went to my first concert. I want to say it was the day before Thanksgiving or it was the day after. I could probably look it up, but I'm a lazy bastard and I'm not going to. Dayton, Ohio, Hara Arena. It was White Zombie on the Astro Creep 2000 tour. And my friend had tickets and wanted to know if I wanted to go. And I really didn't because I'd seen White Zombie on the Jon Stewart show. And I didn't think they were very good. I loved the Los Exorcisto album. Like, I listened to it all the time. It was one of my favorite records. But when I saw video of them live, I just didn't think that Rob Zombie kept up very well vocally. And I don't mean to knock him or anything, because, you know, it's just one of those things that happens when people perform live. I've got my weaknesses. Everybody does. But as a 15-year-old, it wasn't something I was interested in paying to go see. And then I found out that the Ramones were opening for him, which didn't make sense to me, because to me, the Ramones are the bigger band, but that's how it was working out. I mean, it was like one of those double headliner things, but technically the Ramones were on first, and then White Zombie came out. And the Super Suckers were the opening act. And we got there, we watched all of it. We were in the stands for the Super Suckers, and then ran into some other kid that we knew and like bought his bracelet or whatever. No, his like ticket off of him to get down onto the floor. And we took turns sneaking in and out somehow. I don't even remember how, but somehow by the time the Ramones were finishing up, we were down on the floor and then getting ready for White Zombie. And this is my first concert. I'm 15 years old. And, I mean, my first concert by myself. I'd been to other things, but never, you know, like a rock concert where I went without parental supervision. And I went nuts. It was like my favorite thing that ever happened up until that point. I just thought it was like better than Christmas. I crowd surfed like 200 times, which, you know, now I think is obnoxious when some idiot comes flying through the air and you have to watch out for him the entire time because he's going to smash his boots into your face or whatever. But if you're a 15-year-old kid, I get it. It's cool. I'll pass you along. I won't try to like hit you or anything. But yeah, I did it like all night, and we were smashed up in the, you know, like 3 people deep from the stage. We had worked our way up that far. By the time we left, I was completely drenched, and none of the sweat was mine. It was fucking disgusting, but I loved it. And they were great. If Rob Zombie was not on point, I certainly couldn't tell from there. I thought he was amazing. I thought the whole band was amazing. I had like a little kitty crush on the bass player from White Zombie. And I just swore she was looking at me the whole time, even though she wasn't. But it was great. It was one of the highlights of my life, and the Ramones were amazing. So here's a couple of songs from that show. I think that White Zombie started out their they started out their show the same way that their album started out. And that made my favorite song by White Zombie ever, which is Supercharger Heaven. That was like the second song they played. And I just remember the crowd went fucking crazy, and it got dangerous. Like everybody's just jumping around and shoving people right when that one kicked in. But it was awesome. And so I'm going to play you Supercharger Heaven off of White Zombie Astro Creep 2000. And then off of the Ramones album Adios Amigos, which is the album they were touring at that point, I am going to play I Don't Want to Grow Up.
Look, I know the supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen, but it does happen.
wrongs turn into things that they never want. The only thing to live for is today. I'm gonna put a hole in my TV set. I don't wanna grow up. Open up the medicine chest. I don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna have to shout it out. I don't want my head to fall out. I don't wanna be filled with doubt. I don't wanna be a good boy scout. I don't wanna have to learn to count. I don't want the biggest amount. No, I don't want to grow up. When I see my parents fight, I don't wanna grow up. They all go out and drinking all night, and I don't wanna grow up. I'd rather stay here in my room, nothing out there but sand and gloom. I don't wanna live in a big old tomb on Green Street. When I see the 5 o'clock news, I don't wanna grow up. Comb their hair and shine their shoes. I don't wanna grow up. Stay around in my old hometown. I don't wanna put no money down. I don't wanna get me a big old loan. Burn them fingers to the bone. I don't wanna float on a broom. Fall in love, get married and boom. How the hell did I get it so soon? No, I don't want to grow up.
And that will just about do it as far as reminiscing about Thanksgiving goes for this episode of the podcast. This podcast is not going to be like Geoff Lenox's trip down the 1990s, and it's not all going to be heavy metal and like hardcore rap. It's just the way this one worked out. But the idea is that, you know, each week we're going to have a new subject to talk about depending on what's going on or what I've witnessed at the time or thinking about at the time. And then I'll play songs related. So it's going to change up quite a bit. And the next segment that I'd like to try is an Ask Geoff Lenox advice column type thing. You know, listeners can write into me and ask me questions about their lives, love, sex, relationships, you know, life coaching type things. And I either do my best to help them or I just give them the most idiotic answer they've ever fucking heard in their entire lives, and you'll all get to have a good laugh. There are no listeners yet because this is episode 1. So I put it out to Facebook to ask me, and we got a whopping 2. I've got 2 questions, and I am going to answer the fuck out of both of them. So here we go. Question number 1. Dear Geoff Lenox, what is your best recommended way to fight a traffic ticket? You know, I have some experience with this one, and my answer is don't. Don't fight it. You're not going to win. It's going to take way more time and money than it's worth to fight. I mean, I'm assuming that you've like already gotten the ticket and you're talking about going to court and fighting it, which I've tried to do. The last time I tried to do it was in Weehawken, New Jersey. I just come back through the Lincoln Tunnel in the middle of the night from a construction job, and I drove through a yellow light. The cop from the Weehawken Police Department pulls me over and says it was red. I can't talk him out of it. He really wants to get his numbers up and make more money for his little corrupt town. And I ended up going to court like 3 or 4 times trying to fight it and wasting about 7 hours. It's like their process, you know, you go, they send you back home. Oh, I was asking for like, hey, do you have camera footage of the intersection and whatever? Assuming that it's right outside the Lincoln Tunnel, you probably do. and they wouldn't respond, and you'd go show up at court, and then they'd say, oh, well, you have this question about camera footage. Well, then you're going to have to reschedule and come back at a later date and blah, blah, blah. And we go like around and around and around. And eventually it got down to like them just offering me a slightly lower price than what the ticket was going to be to just walk away, and basically implying that, like, and maybe even bluffing, hey, the officer is here today and you're going to stand trial and you're probably going to lose. Are you sure you want to fight this? Because it's going to be, 3 times more expensive if you lose. Why don't you just pay the ticket and go home? And I did. And that's their game, and they know it. And that's the way they run it. And the way that traffic court works, it's not innocent until proven guilty, really. Because of the nature of the quote unquote crime, you're in there and you have no real evidence, and the officer's testimony is considered expert testimony because he's supposed to be an expert in traffic. So if you're saying you didn't go through a red light and he says you did, he wins because it's his job to know who went through a red light and who didn't, and it's not yours. You're fighting an uphill battle. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money. Just pay the fee or the fine or whatever, and just deal with it. And I found like one of the best ways to deal with the traffic tickets is like you have to look at it as like getting a certain number of tickets. That's a part of the cost of driving, just like gas or car insurance or whatever. Especially if you lived in some like corrupt town like New York. And I've learned this from friends. It's like you get angry if you're going out there and you're driving correctly and you're parking in the right place or whatever, and you get tickets. Then it pisses you off and you're upset because this isn't fair and blah, blah, blah. But if you take the more realistic approach of saying, no matter what I do, I'm going to get a few of these every now and then because that's the system that we live in, it makes it a lot easier to roll with. And so I'd suggest that. Just assume that you're going to get some instead of assuming that if you drive and park correctly that you're not going to, and your life will be a lot happier and easier. And question number 2 is, the person that wrote this is for a friend. And she says, when does jealousy cross the line into control/abuse? I.e., if someone is so jealous that they snoop on your cell phone and hack into your social media because they think because they are so afraid that something's going on. When is it possessive and controlling versus worrying about losing the one you love? P.S. How do you convince someone that you're faithful when they have convinced themselves that you are cheating? The more you protest, the more guilty you seem. Well, why would you try to convince somebody? If they're going through your shit, fuck them. You should break up with them. That's bad news. I mean, unless you are cheating. If you are cheating and they catch you, then I guess they're just really smart and maybe smarter than you. But if you're not cheating, if you're not doing anything wrong and this person's like up your ass, then it means maybe that they are cheating, or at least thinking about it. And that's why it's in their head, and that's why they're all over you. Or it means that you're acting hoary and embarrassing them, and they're worried that it's going further than you just being insecure and being stupid in front of them. I don't know. Whatever the deal is, you got problems, and you should break up with that person. Either you're being bad to him or he's being bad to you, and you're going to be better, happier somewhere else. I was in a relationship once where I thought the girl was cheating, and it wasn't really like that I was worried that there was somebody else out there better than me or anything. It was like that this person had like self-esteem issues and insecurity about her relationship with me, and I thought that and were like trying to make me jealous. And in the end, just fuck those kind of people. I got rid of her. I've never really looked back. So I hope that helps. Shouldn't be worrying about this person. You definitely shouldn't let somebody go through your cell phone or your personal shit unless you've given him like really good reasoning and he actually caught you. And then, what can you say? But really, the invasion of privacy on his part is nearly as bad as cheating. So get out of it. Go find somebody else. Go find a healthy relationship. Don't try to make him jealous, and don't let that person go through your shit. And that will wrap up the Ask Geoff Lenox segment for podcast number 1. If you have questions, and, the wilder, the crazier, the better, maybe next week we'll get, how to behave at an orgy, or how can I build a beer bong that will hold an entire 12-pack? Some shit like that. Great. Send me your questions. Once again, my email is geofflenoxusa@gmail.com. That's GeoffLenox USA@gmail.com. And now we've reached the final segment of the podcast. My idea is that I would like to feature like one unknown band every week. They may be like signed, they may not be. Probably they're going to be like active, but they don't necessarily have to be, because if they're not active anymore, it's probably because people weren't paying enough attention to them. And unless they're dead, if the music's still great, if I play it and they feel like there's an interest, then maybe they get back together and go out and play again. But the idea is that I will be playing one band that isn't like, big time every week, and trying to show them off. And hopefully they're as unknown as I can possibly find. I have a few friends' bands in mind that I wanted to do this with, but I'm going to save them for later podcasts. I have put it out to friends on Facebook and other people. And if any of you out there listening know of an unknown band that I should check out, please point me in the direction of their best song, and maybe I'll feature them on this podcast. Again, my email is Geoff, Geoff, Lenox, Lenox, USA@gmail.com. So email me there, and if I hear something I like, I will totally put them on and send them to my massive audience that's out there eagerly awaiting this every week. But I don't have a band for this week. I am, waiting to hear something cool, and I don't want to start pushing my friends' bands. I mean, not that I'm pushing them. I would only play them if I really liked something about their recordings anyway. But I just want to hold that back. And I was thinking about it, and you might be wondering, like, why are you doing a podcast, Geoff? Do you think you're a fucking DJ now? What's the deal? Is this some kind of shameless promotion for your record? And yes, it's both. I always wanted to be a DJ. I liked DJing in New York at bars and clubs and things when I'd get invited to do it. I always wanted my own radio show. And, we're just getting started here, but hopefully as I get in the swing of this and get better and get funnier and, get it flowing better, maybe somebody will pay attention, and maybe someday I will get my own radio show somewhere, or somebody will pick up this podcast even for like an internet channel or something like that. But yeah, I would love to do that. On the other hand, I do have an album coming out, and I am trying to promote it. And that's part of why I started doing this podcast as well. Is last week I sent around my new single, Say a Prayer, to internet, indie radio, college radio, even some high school radio. And a couple of places I know are playing it, and that's cool, and I'm grateful. But there have also been a good number of rejections. Like guys write back to me almost like in like a snotty kind of way. Like, yeah, not really for this station. And then you go look at these people's stations, and it's like, okay, well, all right. Is it too heavy? Is it too long? What's the deal here? And these are stations that claim to be rock stations. And they're like nobodies in the middle of fucking New York State or, Minnesota or something like that. And they, for whatever reason, don't feel like my music is a good fit. And the implication is really that it's not good enough. They say, when they say good fit, we all know what you're talking about, unless I send it to a country station and it's a rock song. If I send a rock song to a rock station and it's not a good fit, that means you didn't think it was good enough. And this is my problem with the music industry, and it's why I feel that I am where I am. And this time I'm not putting up with that shit. I'm not. The last record, yeah, maybe. It's like vulgar. It was a little rough around the edges sometimes. I could understand you ignoring that. This time, I'm so confident in this stuff that, like, if you're, like, in the music industry and you're a record executive or an A&R rep or a DJ at a radio station and you pass on this or you say that it's not good enough, you fucking suck at your job, dude. You do. You're fucking bad. You have no business doing what you're doing. Especially if it's like, you're representing rock and roll, which a couple of these people that have written to me, claim to do. I go back like, okay, well, did I send it to a fucking indie rock station? No. These fucking losers are playing Pearl Jam and, 9 Inch Nails and Foo Fighters all over the place. And it's like, you're doing it all wrong. You are so bad at what you do. If I send you this song and you're playing that music and you say no, like, you're so bad at what you do. If I was your boss and I found out that you passed on this song, if it's not my song and it's like, this is an objective thing, you're one step closer to getting fired. That's how bad you are at what you do. And it sucks because if you're at like indie radio, it should be fun. It's like that's where you have freedom. If you're at a major radio station, yeah, all that shit's bought and paid for and you're told what you need to play and you have to stick to a formula and you have to stick to the same 5 bands that you've been pushing that have worked for the past 20 years and you're nervous that if you try to show anything new that you might lose some value for your commercial time or some shit like that. I get it on major radio. When you're on indie radio or college radio, that's the real deal shit. Your job as a DJ, and the job always as a DJ, is to bring people new, cool music. And if you can't do that, then you can't do your job. If you're going to be working in an indie radio station with a low broadcast range, and the best you're going to do is play the same 5 bands that every other fucking radio station in the entire world's already playing, and everybody already knows about, what the fuck is the point of your life? You don't have one. So this is how we roll. This new record, I know it's good. I will try to work with people in the industry. And if they work with me, then great. And if they don't, we're going to steamroll over them and show them how bad they are at what they do and embarrass the fuck out of them and get them the hell out of the way. I almost want to start naming names here, but I'm not going to. So anyway, this is my shot at a radio show. This is what I would do, and I'm going to play my song now. So here is Say a Prayer by Geoff Lenox. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next week.
A dreamer wakes so sad and hollow. A cover for these empty years. The fading talk about tomorrow. A quiet scheme to leave me here. And all the danger I now face.
I've had some close calls lately. I know, hey now I know I should be someone else today. The pictures on your wall show everything you want and how it's all supposed to be. Hiding safe behind all you seem to know. Well, say a prayer for me. Or maybe I should face the truth. Or maybe I should fade away. Or say goodbye to wasted youth. Or take from you better ways. The pictures on your wall show everything you want and all that you must think of me. Hiding safe behind all you think you know. We'll say a prayer for me. Well, I won't live in fear. And I won't walk your way. My guilt dies here. Shattered and torn, tortured and burned, but at least I reached for something. Yeah! The pictures on your wall show everything you're not and all that you would hope to be.